Anyway, component parts of the clutch for you. You've got the clutch plate, and the flywheel would be on that side, and this is your gearbox side. That's how it should sit in. Then you've got your clutch cover. I'll try and zoom in. In the centre you've got this silly little mesh springy thing, and that's how that sits in there. It sits in like the prongs of the clutch cover. Then you've got your retaining ring, and you've got this another silly little mesh thing, and then you've got your thrust bearing. Your thrust bearing, just check that these where your fork locates are intact and they're that shape, and they're not bent or there's no cracks in them, because sometimes these, if you're giving your gearbox some ocker, they get cracked. So just check both of them are in shape and no cracks on them. And then to build it up, to fit it, you've got your clutch cover, and then get this ring and just sit it round there, and then shove it into the centre of the clutch cover. So it's now sat in there. It's quite loose and it can drop out, so just be careful. And then that's that side, and then your retaining ring. The retaining ring should be in place on the flywheel side of your clutch cover, and it is all sloppy and it is all loose. That's how they are. And then what happens when your thrust bearing comes forward, you've got your gearbox in situ, you push your thrust bearing forward, and that's the noise you should hear, and that's your thrust bearing is now located into the clutch cover, and that little retaining ring is all that holds it in place. So that's that click you've got to listen for, because that retaining ring or even that mesh thing can fall out when you're rocking the gearbox round and everything else. So that's it built up. I'll just show you how the thrust bearing goes on the gearbox as well, just so you know that one. Crap at filming, so never mind. This is your gearbox, and your fork should just be flopping. Make sure you put your little split pin back in if you took it off, if you took your split pin off the way I said. So your thrust bearing just slides on here, making it look hard, but it's easy. So your thrust bearing slides on, and you've located them lugs onto your fork, and then just shove it as far back as you can so it's sat back there out the way, and that's where it sits until you're all built up. And then when your gearbox is on, you're going to poke a bar through and just bar your fork back so that comes forward and it just clicks into place and locates into that ring. So that's how your gearbox should be looking before you put it up to the clutch and the clutch cover. Hope that helps, mate. And obviously you'll be barring, this is your inspection hole, you'll be barring your clutch fork back towards the back of the car, and that putting that back pushes the thrust bearing forward. And then obviously when you put your clutch piston in place, it works a different way, because that shoves it forward to disengage your clutch. Okay, mate, hope that helps. Cheers.